That's another thing I inherited from Dad. NPC dialogue. The best way I can describe it is that I have little scripts in my mind, and when a situation reminds me of a story or fun fact, I always say the exact same story in the exact same way. For example, did you know that a trespasser could sue you if they got attacked on your property because the beware of dog sign implies that you know the dog is dangerous? So you're better off getting a dog on premises sign.
Did you know that on an early test run of Space Mountain, the test dummies came out without heads? The entire ride is also filled with high-powered fans that blow in your face and make you feel like you're going way faster than you really are, but you'd never know because you're in the dark.
Did you know that if your brain hears the same information as little as 2 or 3 times, it will probably believe it, even if there's no factual evidence to back it up? Did you know that the moon landing was faked? Did you know that the actor actually broke his toe right there, so the scream was real? Yes, I know! I've heard these sound bites 100 times before! Get some new material! Did you know that a trespasser could sue you if they got attacked on your property because the beware of dog sign implies that you know the dog is dangerous? So you're better off getting a dog on premises sign.
Did you know that on an early test run of Space Mountain, the test dummies came out without heads? The entire ride is also filled with high-powered fans that blow in your face and make you feel like you're going way faster than you really are, but you'd never know because you're in the dark.
Did you know that if your brain hears the same information as little as 2 or 3 times, it will probably believe it, even if there's no factual evidence to back it up? Did you know that the moon landing was faked? I like Winston, but Bo is just objectively better in every way. Watch.
Welcome. What's your name?
You're a singer? Okay, good luck.
Thank you so much for auditioning on the show and for singing such a beautiful song. And even though you haven't competed, you've already won.
Good evening. What is your name?
Do you sing for a living? All right, sing for us.
We got a trampoline for the backyard. In all my dad's previous building shenanigans, I had been too young or aloof to help. Or I couldn't hold the light good enough. But this time, I was gonna help Dad build the trampoline and prove to him that I could be handy too. This trampoline used metal leaf springs instead of normal springs. You would use a special tool to bend the metal leaf to clip into the trampoline mat. I was the designated leaf spring bender, and Dad was the designated mat clipper. As we clipped more and more springs, it got harder and harder to get them to connect because the mat was so stretched out. Dad held out the mat and I bent the leaf spring with all my might. I pushed and pushed as hard as I could. Then, the tool slipped off the leaf spring and slammed into Dad's head. Oh my gosh! Dad, are you okay?
It's okay, it's just pain.
I can't count how many RC planes he's crashed. It's not even a question of if he will crash them anymore, it's when. On our most recent trip, Dad bought a big fancy plane that could take off and land in the water. He gathered us all together to watch its maiden voyage, and we all just watched sadly, anticipating the inevitable.
No! Stupid plane!
The funniest part to me is that Dad has often expressed his interest in getting his pilot's license and flying real planes. Like, dude, no one in this family is ever gonna get in a plane with you behind the wheel. You failed the simulations. What makes you think you'll succeed with the real deal? Then, of course, as Dad was trying to fix the plane, the propeller started going and Bo grabbed the plane and destroyed it. I would have thought that someone who's so good at math would stop putting RC toys and dogs in the same equation by now. This was one of the first video games I ever played, so I had a lot to learn. Jumping between gravity-defying planets and walking upside down took a lot of getting used to. I collected a few stars and then headed to the Loop-de-Loop galaxy. And let me tell you, this level broke little Bryson. In the level, you ride around a floating water race course on a Stingray. But I wanted to get the high score. I wanted to go fast. So my thumb never let go of the acceleration button, and that meant I couldn't make sharp turns. I kept flying off the map and dying. And to make it worse, I had to use motion controls. I couldn't beat it no matter how hard I tried. I started crying and Brody had to help me beat the level. This will go down in history as mankind's second greatest defeat involving stingrays. But after that little hiccup, I was ready to take on the rest of the game and lose to Bowser 50 times. But Brody, being a seasoned veteran gamer, coached me on how to perfectly time my spin moves, and I used them to spin Bowser like a Beyblade.
So long, Bowser!
I was feeling pretty good about my newly acquired gaming skills. Beating Bowser as a child is a big deal, okay? At that age, what
else do you have to be proud of? The drawings you made that Mom hung up on the fridge? Well, bad news. Mom will throw those crappy drawings away while you're not looking. But the achievement of defeating the king of the Koopas, that lasts forever.
Yeah, I'm noticing that these teeth are rather small. What we could do is remove them and move all these teeth forward to fill its place.
At this moment, pure malice and rage boiled up inside me. I refused to be imprisoned again. Shut up! Shut up!
What?
I already had them on for 4 years. I'm done. I won't let you body shame me into giving you more of my mom's money so you can torture me for another 2 years. So we ran out, and 2 of my teeth are a little smaller than they should be. Oh no, what a nightmare. I'd much rather keep them as is than do this.
Hi, I'm Bryson, and today I want to tell you about all the things I was obsessed with when I was a kid. Let's start with the first one. I was obsessed with trains as a kid, especially Thomas the Tank Engine. Wow, Bryson, trains are stupid. Why don't you play with action figures or something?
Having a powerful imagination was a good thing in many ways, but this also meant that I was scared very easily. Taking the trash out in the dark felt like a life or death experience. I was convinced that an evil clown or alien would kill me if I didn't do it as fast as I could. And of course, when I turned out the last light in the house, I had to run to my room as fast as I could so that a shadow demon wouldn't catch me. Even as an adult, I avoid horror movies. It's just not worth it to me. I'd rather be happy and sleep well. But I wasn't just susceptible to scary things in movies, I also fell victim to fear-mongering stories designed to make me more obedient from my parents.
This is Santa. If you're a good boy, he'll give you a present at Christmas.
Awesome!
And this is the boogeyman. If you're a bad boy and disobey us, he'll kill you. Slowly and painfully. He'll violently rip your arms off and use them to bash your head in.
My dad really told me that if I played too many games on the GameCube, that it would take over my mind and I'd never be able to stop playing. This scared me to my core, and it's the reason I didn't start playing a lot of video games until I was 14. But there is something to be said about how good it was for me to play outside all the time. I am grateful that I didn't fry all my dopamine receptors with an iPad at age 5. Instead, I spent my time in glorious nature eating dirt. I freaking love The Incredibles. Having a whole family of supers fighting together is just an awesome concept, and I love it so much. The soundtrack goes hard. I can't even handle it. The animation is amazing, there's great character design. The first Incredibles is a classic, and it's peak Pixar. I literally watched The Incredibles while my little brother was being born. It's a core memory. Bryson, come meet your new baby brother. Hey, welcome to the world or whatever. Do you want to watch The Incredibles? My dad is very smart in a lot of ways. He has an engineering degree and master's degree in business, but he doesn't always apply his knowledge in the best way. One time on a road trip by the coast, Dad wanted to drive our Suburban onto the sand with all of us in it. Dad, no, don't do it. We'll get stuck on the sand. Please, no. We're doing it! Woohoo!
We're sinking!
Don't worry, I'll just hit the gas pedal harder.
Wow, who could have predicted this? This should have been the moment where I realized that adults don't know everything, but embarrassingly, it took me becoming one to realize that most adults are just children, but bigger, some of which have access to the nuclear launch codes. Kinda a bummer, I know. And apparently, not applying his knowledge correctly went way back to his youth. Back when my dad was in college, he had to bike to his classes in the snow. Uphill both ways, of course. He turned a corner and the bike slipped on a patch of ice. His laptop bag was covered in snow and he went back home to make sure nothing was broken. Luckily, it was okay, just a little dented. Then he got back out on his bike and he assumed that since he knew the ice was there, that this time he'd be able to bike over it more carefully. So instead of going around, he took the same path and slipped again, shattering his laptop. Son of a sh**. Here's my interpretation.
Here you go.
My eye was good as new. Or was it? I can see fine out of both eyes now, but my right eye is very dominant. So when I'm tired, my right eye takes the wheel and my left eye wanders. My left eye is just a slacker, I guess. He's just like me. Since my right eye is usually in charge, sometimes in the middle of doing something, I'll close my right eye and realize that my left eye was looking at something else entirely the whole time. Geez, what a jerk. I'm gonna pull up next to him and stare him down, and then maybe even share a rude hand gesture with him.
But Bryson, how can you stare him down while also keeping your eyes safely on the road?
Trust me, I got this. I zoned out in high school once, and when I zoned back in, I was staring at a girl I knew. And I could see in her face that my cover was blown. Wait, are your eyes? Yes, they're weird and disgusting, I know. We laughed it off and talked. As many of you know, I'm a very late bloomer. I looked way younger than a normal high school boy. Then, as we talked, the girl said, I just had a vision of you in the future. It's a glow up. And her prediction still hasn't come true. I've been waiting all this time. About time. But the worst was when I moved into my new house. Everything was brand new. I was so happy. Then we discovered that Winston had peed in one of the only carpeted rooms in the house. Almost everything else was hardwood, and he purposefully peed on the carpet. My mind flooded with rage.
Destroy the child.
Oh, that sounds a little dark for you. Now, go ahead.
It'll be easy, like breaking a toothpick.
Show me. I knew you couldn't do it, even when you have nothing to lose. You're weak! And I've outgrown you.
But my imagination did not stop there. I used to grab a bowl from the kitchen, go outside, gather an assortment of nature's finest materials into a bowl. Grass, leaves, herbs, berries, you name it. And I would pretend I was brewing a magical potion. Mom, drink this. It'll turn you into a giraffe.
No thanks. I'll just stick with my sandwich.
Fine, I'll drink it.
Bryson, don't!
Wow, it really worked. And of course, no dog story is complete without the rite of passage of the dog almost dying. One time, Brody and Jen were cleaning out a relative's storage unit when they heard Molly chewing on something.
It's a brick of rat poison!
Oh my god! They rushed her to the vet, and the vet gave her eye drops to make her vomit the poison, because apparently that's a thing. I don't know anything about how any of that works, but they saved her, and she's okay. Woohoo! Molly, I really thought this went without saying, but please don't eat poop or rat poison. An icy hot galaxy where you skate around and fight a lava octopus? No problem. A haunted mansion galaxy where you save Luigi? Light work. A galaxy made of toys where you run across twisting platforms shaped like Mario? Child's play.
Light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction.
Okay, it's not a little kick. Oh!
All my nightmares had materialized. It was an even harder version of the previous one. Skipping ahead through 2 hours of pain and agony, and I finally beat it. Yahoo!
I also loved it when my parents would let me get Harry Potter Legos, because then I got to build the magical world I loved so much. I liked being able to build cool stuff. Legos are cool. Wow, Bryson, you still build Legos? Grow up! Legos are toys! I warned you.
It's a highly sophisticated interlocking brick system.
The box for this one said ages 8 to 14.
That's a suggestion.
I just love the classic Incredibles costume look. So, with that in mind, I decided to make myself into a superhero. Meet Super Bryson, the makeshifter. My powers are shape-shifting and summoning energy-based objects. Think of it like if Miss Marvel and Green Lantern had a baby, and it was me. I went with bright colors because they match my energy and I like the classic look. What makes the Incredibles so special is that it's a whole family fighting crime together. So what makes me unique is that I fight crime as a team with my dog. Meet Superbo.
Really? Superbo is the best you could come up with?
Sick 'em! He can fly and has a laser bark, and we fight crime together as a team.
That's kinda lame.
Woo! Yeah!
What's his deal?
We don't know. We just try to avoid him. He's a homeschooled kid. Oh.